Today, the Central Highlands Regional Council announced its 2023-2024 budget, a $292 million budget that included $81 million of new capital for this financial year, and we're carrying over about $17 million from last financial year. Obviously, due to those circumstances that we all know about, supply chain holds up, cost of materials, and these are certainly things that have been difficult around formulating a budget for this year. So what does that mean for the community? That means the Botanic Gardens Master Plan for Emerald, the Gungaloo Noonie Gardens in Blackwater, the Springshire Aquatic Centre, something we've been needing for a long time. We've eventually got that started this year. The Thierry Capella pipeline, that's starting this year, and things like the Duringa water treatment plant is actually getting that upgrade that's been desperately needed. So they're the sort of community projects right across the region that we've managed to get into our capital program this year. For most of us, you'll see a 3% increase in your rates this year. For the mining sector, that'll be 4%. You will see some variations in that with the different valuations that might come in on your particular property, but capping has made sure that there'll be no increases above 10%, certainly in the rural sector, and 30% in the resources sector. So Council's really trying to get that equity right so that we're all contributing equally to what we do today. In that budget today, you'll see there's $35.7 million expenditure on roads, there's $22 million in other capital projects within communities. This is about spreading the money around equally and fairly across our region and making sure that we have created a sound foundation for our budgets in years gone past. This budget builds on that, but against the backdrop of a really, really difficult current financial climate where there are unknown costs in terms of our supply chains. And the work that Council do is largely affected by that. But we're working on that. We've actually come up with a budget today that we think is very balanced, it's very fair, and it's set on very good foundations. And while we're looking at all these projects and right across the region, the reality is there are 15,000 ratepayers in the Central Highlands region, and we're trying to achieve an equity right across all those sectors. So for most of the average residential households in the Central Highlands, you'll see an increase in your rates this year of about $4.44 per week. And that's a combination of your general rates and then those costs of utilities. If you're a person that uses the wastewater, obviously a water supply and your bin pickup services. This budget has been created in a setting of, as I said, high interest rates and a CPI that's sitting at 7%. And also against a backdrop of not a lot of funding coming to regions in Queensland. So Central Highlands looks after itself. So this budget is very much about dealing with those extra costs. We are price takers like everyone else. We obviously need to pass those on, but what we've done in this budget is we've created a balanced budget. We've created a budget that is actually based on strong foundations, good financial planning in the past. So obviously we're able to do this year. It's a skinny margin, but we need to make sure that we keep costs in the right framework for our ratepayers. This budget achieves that. So look, there are a million projects that obviously are included in our capital this year. If you want to find out what relates to your area or your area of interest to see what is going to happen this year and into the next financial year, go to the Central Highlands Regional Council website and check out obviously the budget information that's provided there. See what's coming for your area for this year.